This is Learn Kotlin with me, where I'm learning Kotlin programming language through exercism and documenting the journey along the way. Today we're going to focus on strings, string interpolation, conditionals, and when conditionals are pointless. The exercise today is called 2 for, which means 2 for 1. We'll implement a function that, given a name, returns a string in the format 1 for X, 1 for me. Check out these examples. So given the name Alice, we return 1 for Alice, 1 for me. And when we're given no string, we're going to return 1 for you, 1 for me. Moving on to the provided test where 2for function is called to get an idea of what is its interface. And let's go ahead and create a Kotlin source file named 2for.kt. Type the function definition, fun, 2for, parentheses, string as a return type. This is actually very similar to our hello world example, and the function body wrapped in curly braces. We know we will accept one argument of type string, let's call it name, and set the default value to null. This is the basic syntax for function parameters. In Kotlin, you have to use the question mark to mark a value as nullable. In fact, that equals null is actually quite redundant. And let's write the body of the function. If name is null, return the string 1 for you, 1 for me. Else, return 1 for name, 1 for me. The if-else structure is identical to what most C-like programming languages use. Else if branches will be typed as else if. To interpolate strings, you use a $sign with curly braces, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, let's run the test and see one of our tests pass and the rest were skipped. So let's go ahead and uncomment the rest of the tests, rerun them. Everything passed. At this point, we have achieved our goal, but we can do better in terms of readability and Kotlinness. Let's remove the if-else clause and leave the single return, 1 for name, 1 for me. Name doesn't have to be null because in fact we know its default value, it is you. And I kind of missed the obvious the first time I was doing this exercise. So let's see how that plays with the test. So they're still passing. So about string interpolation, if you have a single variable like here, you don't need the curly braces. This is just an old habit from Python F strings. Curly braces are useful when building expressions. Say I want to concatenate my string with another string, in which case I need the curly braces. To illustrate the example, the test won't pass because the strings will be different now. So let's restore the correct version. One last thing, since this is such a simple function that has only one expression, we can omit the curly braces and use this special equal syntax to return the value. And this is called a single expression function. In this case, the compiler can infer the return type, so we can also remove it. Proving that this is correct syntax, I'll rerun the tests. This is uber detailed for such a simple example, but I hope it was useful to see a couple of new facets of Kotlin. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave me feedback in the comments, and see you next time.